Welcome to Redvee TV, supported by Chapel House for the 2023 season, as we reflect back on Saints' 16 points to 8 victory over the Warrington Wolves in the Eliminator playoff semi-final here at the Totally Wicked Stadium. First goal.
I like it. You're in.
You can take over now.
Oh, thanks very much. Well done. Kev, a win on a big occasion with not the greatest weather. Does it matter how we played, or is the win the most important thing that we're going to do today?
I think knockout football is knockout football, and it's all about getting the W on. It's all about going forward to next week. I think the way we started the game, I can't remember a time other than when they knocked on, they were in our half. We rushed a little bit, we pushed a couple of balls that we probably shouldn't have pushed. We made a few decisions that the champion team who's going to end up champions probably don't make, but look, we learn from it, and I think the occasion probably got a little bit of us in terms of the fact that obviously it's Robes and LMS's last game here at the Totally Wicked, but no, overall I think, like we say every week, the best team won, and if they'd have beat us, I'd still stand here and say that the best team won, but thankfully they didn't. That's 4-0, and the A49 is open as usual for the remainder of this year because there's no trophy parade in Warrington.
You're taking over beautifully where Dave would usually do. As you say, we started off really well. Thought we were probably a little bit in attack. We should have been taking chances, but 6 minutes into the game, Joe Batchelor pulls up with what looks like a hamstring injury or a thigh injury at the very least. That's probably his season done.
Yeah.
Were you worried at that point that you lose such a big player as Joe Batchelor that could derail us?
Not when you've got somebody with the quality who, in my opinion, has been our player of the season, like James Bell on the bench. No. And do you know what? As horrible as it is for Bats to go down that way, and it looks like it's going to be a serious one, he's going to have a long winter to get himself back. James Bell missed out last year in the grand final. I've said it a couple of times when I've been on Redvee, and do you know what? He for me, I voted him player of the season. I think he's been our best, most consistent. And if that now paves the way for him to start next week away at Catalans, and if, touch wood, we get to Old Trafford, he gets his starting place, then he absolutely deserves that because he's been phenomenal. Gutted for Batchelor, really am. But do you know what? James Bell's just shown how versatile and how able he is to stand in and do whatever job he's asked of. And I'll go as far as saying I don't think that he had his best game. I think there were one or two kind of decisions he made that looking back, you look at it and you'll go, why did I pass that ball? But do you know what? End of the day, it's knockout football. We've won the game. We go on to next week. Thankfully, it's not Robes and LMS's last appearance for Saints. We'll see where we end up.
Yeah, first half, obviously, we scored a lovely try, an absolutely wonderful try through the hands, comes back inside to dodge. You think at that point, right, we're putting points on the board, but it ended up 8-0 at the half, similar to when we were playing them down at the Halliwell Jones. We've got to fix that where we are putting more points on the board, and it's not necessarily, I mean, we'll mitigate for the weather and we'll mitigate for the occasion. But when you go to Catalans, if you're getting chances like we've had today, you've got to start taking them up.
Absolutely, mate, you're right. And do you know what? I think everything's a learn, every game's a learn. You look at the likes of James Rober, LMS, coming to an end of careers, even still today, there'll be learns in there for them. The likes of Johnny. I mean, there's once or twice Johnny took the line on for me today at the wrong time. And I know that's a part of his game, he's kind of evolving over the last couple of weeks. He's taking the line, he's looking for those gaps. I think one decision that really got me is that when Johnny went through for start, I don't know if you remember, and he tried this ridiculously quick play of the ball, and Percy went to play on the half and dropped it. Yeah. So like, just he's one of our most experienced players. He's our leader. Other than Robes, in that back line, he's our leader. You don't need to play like that. Yeah. Like, they're on the back foot. You've got the likes of Cassiano who's put in, those blokes coming back. Just take your time and let's compose ourselves. And I think today we were a bit of a victim of our own kind of own head in knowing that, look, you know, we know we can blow this away, but I don't know, I just think some of our decision making is a little bit off. But look, next week we might be sat outside the Steel Brutus, hopefully saying, wow, that was our decision making today. Because if today is the thing that fixes us, then I'll take it all day. And look, like I said, when we took that 2 with Percy, I don't care how we win, I just want us to win.
Yeah. So, going to the second half, 8-0 up, key to keep it tight in the first couple of minutes, and we concede a try with a bad defensive read, missed tackle, and Warrington start getting the tails up. Shortly after that, we have Alex Walmsley sent to the bin. Probably on say so from the video ref, that's what it looks like. He's got involved, which apparently he can do for foul play if they're going to start giving cards. And it starts looking a little bit ropey for us. But did you ever feel that Warrington were then going to win that game? Because I still think we could control enough field position and enough play that even 10 minutes without Alex Walmsley, we weren't really pushed too much.
I think at 8-all, we've been here before. We've been in big games against these games that matter. Apparently they've said it in their communications this week. We've been in big games against these before, and sometimes you get punished for your missed chances. Going to the Worms incident, for me, and I'll watch it back and make a further judgment, but for me, if that's contact with the head in a dangerous manner, that warrants 10 minutes. It'd be 10 minutes a game. I think the Joe Bullock, very particular, I said that. I think that one was significantly worse with the same punishment. I thought we weathered that 10 minutes really well. I saw John, I was watching Johnny when it happened, and he kind of did something like that. And as we do Saints, we know, because we've got burned first couple of games after Australia, we're defending narrow, but we defended narrow across both sides of the pitch. And yeah, they've got great pace on the outside edges, but we did a great job defending narrow across you gentlemen, across both sides of the pitch, and I think we weathered that 10 minutes really well. And obviously when we go in and score and get back in front with an abs, I mean, Jack Welford is the best player in Super League by an absolute country mile. If anybody disagrees with that, then he is head and shoulders above anything. And I don't just say that with my Saints glasses on. I think Reece Walsh, nothing to do with Brisbane yet, but Reece Walsh is the best player in the NRL for me. He's exciting, he's quick, he's clever, you talk about smart, he just does the right thing. And the thing that epitomised that game for me today, and when you watch Wells there, when he did his Dream Team interview earlier in the week, that's on Saints TV, he talked about there is no way that I'm sending that man out of the misery, and you could just tell he had it about him. And if he wants to turn up next week in the Catalans park, he can. He can, and then hopefully OT. But yeah, I think the way that we weathered that 10 minutes was smart. For we just made the right decisions at the right time in terms of how to manage the game, manage the occasion. I was a bit disappointed James didn't come back on.
Yes.
Just for the last couple of minutes, and like just to get that rapturous applause. And I was also a little bit disappointed that he didn't have a few words, but he's not like that, is he?
No, he's quite quiet.
He's quiet, he's quite reserved. Just like you, very
obviously,
very unassuming, very reserved.
Compared to Dave. You say 8-all, they are back in it, but at no point did I think that they were then going to go on and win the game. They were going to need something absolutely big, massive for them to get in front and hold on. As you say, we then go in front, Tommy Mickelson try. Line ball.
Again, it's one of those I want to watch back. I think there's a couple of occasions there today where there's been a few flat balls that could have been called either way. By the way, and I come on here all the time, and one of my first gripes most of the time is about the referee. I thought Ben Taylor did a really good job today. I thought he managed the onside offside really well. I thought he managed the 6 agains and the line down better than most of the refs have managed it this year, because we do seem to get punished more than other clubs, and I think the stats back that up in the sense of we get more 6 agains against us. But I think that absolutely limited Warrington in the sense of it was fair, it was equitable. What we got, they got, and what they got, we got, and actually the game evolved the way it evolved, and the team that won on merit.
It flowed quite well considering the weather.
The weather. There were a few mistakes. In there. Like last week, we watched the academy game here, and it was just littered with errors. I think there was something like 21 errors in the first half, and it was But and obviously this is first team, so this is teams that are fighting to be Super League champions. So no, I thought thought we handled the weather, I thought we handled the occasion really well, and I'm absolutely made up that we've got another crack now at next week. It ain't going to be easy over there.
I was just going to say, Catalan next week. We've lost already over there, we've lost here to them. We've got to book that. How do we do it? How do we go over there and beat Catalan?
I think the middle unit's massive. The fact that we've got Walmsley back, looks like he's firing. That 10 minutes for me actually was in a weird way a bit of a blessing in disguise, because that was his rest.
And it saved us a sub after Joe actually being injured.
And it kind of managed most of the rest of that game until he came back off towards the end. But I think we've got to beat them in the middle. We've got to do a job on Tompkins, because he's world class, and I've no shame in saying that, even though he's comes from that side of the hill. He's a world class fullback. He's a world class rugby league player, and he won't want to go out on a loss either, just in the same way that Rose doesn't. But I genuinely think that next week it's going to be a war of attrition. It's going to be a really tough, hard middle battle. The game's at 9 o'clock at night, thankfully for us, because it's going to be warm over in next week. So I'll be packing some shorts into the case.
There's a thought for you all.
Yeah. Not just shorts, underpants as well.
Would you smoke?
But
we're in the comrades.
Definitely no comrades. And it's interesting actually. Yeah, you mentioned comrade, because a couple of rumours floated about the reason he's not played today. And if they're true, then do you know what? Good choice. Well, or if there are the standards set by the club and they're not met by players, then they deserve to be punished.
I was going to mention. That's why I mentioned Conrad. Yeah, he's not appeared today, and you do miss something from him. Obviously, him dropping out means Percy and Tommy can play on that wing, and because they're good mates, because they're besties, they are fantastic together. It's Catalan next week. We'll see you over there. Absolutely. But just to finish off, obviously, it's the last dance of.
Don't.
Sorry, I don't want to make you cry. It's the last dance for Louis. And it's the last dance for that man, James Roby, here at the Totally Wicked. Obviously, they've got one more week. It's difficult to put into words what they've both done for the club. And it's quite emotional thinking that we're never going to see him grace that pitch again as a player, isn't it? Sorry, do you want me to end it there?
Edit that now. It is. Of course, it's emotional. Look, I went to school with James Roby, and I remember he played at hooker for a team 2 years older that I used to play hooker for at Caldy Grammar, and so I've had the privilege of seeing him at Cowley or over at Caldy or Mercy Tales, wherever it was. I've seen him today in his last game. The Louis thing, I wish he'd do another year, because I think he's just still that bundle of energy. I think he's still got it in him, but I think he's at the point now where he just needs to make a change.
Yes, yeah.
We're going to miss him, and I don't think fans realise how much we're going to miss him.
Yeah.
You don't know what you've got until he's gone, because he is absolutely phenomenal as a prop forward, as a leader. When they made that knock on, just before half time, if you're going to watch the game back on Channel 4, just watch it with his energy, and like he was nuts, and we'll miss it, and obviously James's leadership. James is, like they've all said, I watched the video this morning, and I was filling up like legend, goal, greatest of all time.
I think there's one thing that I loved from that, which was when they said he's a better bloke than a footballer. And that tells you everything you need to know.
He's a Cowley boy, and he's a St Helens boy. Look, we're born and bred in this town. I know you live on the awful side of Widnes, which is a bit smelly, but
I grew up in the same road as James Roby.
He's a St Helens boy, and he's a Cowley boy, and you know what? You look at his dad, Mark's as crazy as they come, but he's been grounded, and he's been brought up in the right way by the right people. He's just had that exceptional ability to be an outstanding rugby league player.
I'll take that as a compliment, because, as I say, I did grow up in the same road as James.
No compliments about anything.
In Haydock.
Anything to do with
Haydock. It's a tough one. We go again next week.
I think we can do it though.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason why not.
I think this year there's I'm going to sound like a bit sour grapes. I think there's been an agenda. I genuinely believe. Because look, when United were winning everything, I know so many people who just absolutely cannot stand Manchester United because they won everything. We've become that team, unfortunately, and the rest of the Super League don't want us to win it again. But I don't know, and I still, the last couple of games we've been to, I still feel that we've got something more. The best is yet to come. I don't necessarily want it to be next week. I want next week to be enough to get through that.
Another step up, don't you? Yeah.
And look, tomorrow morning we're all going to get up and watch Brisbane and Penrith, and that's the final that the NRL deserve to bring the two best teams by an absolute country mile over there. Can you split the fact that it's going to be Wigan, Catalan or Saints? Hopefully we do the job and it is a Wigan Saints. It'll be, for me, I think it'll be the record crowd for a grand final. If it is Wigan Saints, it's a derby. They always won from Super Jockey Wells. We've got a ball on the Wigan line. They always won. So for me, that's the game that it deserves. And if I don't come back here because we're going to Brisbane, or if I don't see another game of rugby league in the Northern Hemisphere and that's the last game I see, I'll be chuffed with that. I'll be absolutely chuffed with that. But let's see what next week brings, and let's see what the club do in terms of managing next week. I'd like them to fly out Thursday, have a bit of a captain's run over there Thursday, make sure that they're all ready Friday to get stuck in, and because history will tell us that normally when we have success over there because we've got over there before, I don't think there'll be any issue with expansion like Sochi and next week's all about winning that game, getting to Old Trafford and giving the Wasps a chance to get final.
What a place to finish, giving the boys a chance to get 5. The drive for 5 is still on. So me and Dave, I think, well, he's gone to Everton. He's gone to Everton for 20 minutes left. Well, I need a drawing that.
Well, it's Everton Blue, isn't it?
No, it's Everton Blue. So a drawing that would be great.
Everton are getting beat 1-0.
Get it.
We'll so Burnley.
Oh, right.
Get in again.
So there you go, if you pick that up, it's not great news for the Redvee boys in the football. We'll leave it there. Me and Dave should be back in the week. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.